That's the biggest thing. So today we're going to learn so much about everything. Let me also record this. Everything that we need to do in 2025 to really have an amazing 2025 together. So with that, Lauren, I think you can start driving the call, and we would be each introducing ourselves in a bit as well.
Okay. That sounds great. That sounds great. Lauren, if you don't mind, I'll jump in and do a little bit of housekeeping before you go and blow our minds, which I'm very excited about.
Of course.
So as Sam mentioned, we're doing lead gen conversion and standing out from the competition today. You've got three awesome teams here. You've got all of us at HIVEOLOGY. You have these two beautiful ladies from Cambium and the guys at roomvu. So we're going to talk about everybody here independently. So if you don't mind, Lauren, if you'll pop me over to the next slide, I appreciate it. So the four of us have come together to bring this to you. We're going to give you also access to everybody, and you're going to hear a little bit more about what each of us do. But for now, I just really wanted to make sure that I introduce you to everybody. So if you pop over to the next slide, Lauren, I'll start talking a little bit about who we all are. I'm simply going to introduce myself quickly. My name is Sabine Steinbrecher. I am the CEO and founder at HIVEOLOGY. That is the cartoon Never Aging Me, which I'm keeping forever, by the way, just so you know. Because we've been doing this for, actually, I did the math, it's almost 28 years supporting real estate agents with education. We have delivered over 1 million courses and counting over that time, which is unbelievable even to us. But our mission these days is pretty simple. We're here to help our agents learn fast and earn even faster. So that has been our entire mission. And we are very grateful to say that for the fourth year in a row now, we are also been recognized as an RIS Media Real Estate Newsmaker organization, and myself included. So I'm very proud of that. And then we'll tell you more about some other stuff we've got later, but let's introduce you next to our Cambium ladies. So Kathleen, who you'll see top of screen, thanks Kathleen, waving at you all. Kathleen is the founder and CEO at Cambium. With also 2 decades of experience, Kathleen has redefined how agents build and scale their real estate businesses. I have to tell you, these ladies are the best at what they do. So please, use this time with us to ask questions. You've got them here live. Really take advantage of the fact that we've got 2 of the best here. And, Kathleen has been focused on really training teams and individuals how to eliminate chaos, transform their operations into efficient, high-performing machines, which is pretty awesome.
Yes,
so absolutely. So understanding all of that for so long and specifically in real estate, I think is a benefit you guys will see in about 2 minutes when we start jumping into the core content. And Lauren is also at Cambium. Now, Lauren brings unmatched expertise in real estate sales coaching. So she is in the trenches and has been in the trenches as an agent and broker and training agents and brokers for a long time. As the former director of sales at the 2nd highest grossing office in the US. Think about that. That's a big number. She has proven track record. Yeah, big whoa-ho to our girl. She has proven track record in both commercial and residential real estate. So also a double whammy, which is great for us. And in her role as managing director at Siding, she scaled a team from, catch this, 250 million to 1.2 billion with a B in sales volume in under 2 years. So we weren't kidding when we said to you guys in the information we sent out earlier that you're going to be learning from people that are able to scale to billions and not just millions. So that's pretty phenomenal. Yeah. So now sales leadership consultant with Cambium. Lauren is specializing in lots of great stuff, but today we're going to talk about leads, which she is obviously heavily focused on revenue optimization. So we're going to talk about that today too. And then Sam, everybody knows Sam. Sam's the CEO and co-founder at roomvu. So we all know roomvu is a pioneer in automated real estate video marketing. And these guys are doing really awesome, next level, ready-made content. You guys should check this out. If everybody on this call is not already a roomvu subscriber, we really couldn't recommend them more. They're already empowering 270,000 or more realtors with AI videos. And congratulations, Sam, 2024 Forbes Technology Council member. That's a big deal too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So I think with that, Gary can just talk about roomvu in about 3 minutes or so, and then we can come back to the rest of this. So go ahead, Gary.
All right, thank you. And thank you for having me, ladies. Very excited to be here. I'm just going to do a quick briefing on what and who we are, right? So we are roomvu. We are a company that was obviously founded by Sam, the handsome young chap that was just speaking. And it's really funny how we got started just because Sam is a real estate agent that produces over $100 million every single year, year in and year out, while simultaneously operating many different companies. The secret to his success is literally just leveraging his own platform because it is designed to fill in the gaps in marketing. And we all know that marketing is a competition for people's attention, and the agents that capture the attention best are going to be the agents that are going to win more opportunities. So Sam is going to obviously take you on a quick exploratory today of our platform so you can see how intuitive it is and how easy it is to actually use. So that way you can create and win more business from prospects. As of right now, we actually have over 270,000 agents on our platform, so we're really excited about that. That did not happen by accident, ladies and gentlemen. It happens because our platform is proven to work and really help you convert these social media platforms into revenue streams. We obviously have a proven track record of helping agents boost visibility. You and I both know the key to your success is top of mind awareness because you need people to think of you and your services more often than your competition. And that's exactly what's going to happen when you partner with roomvu. Real quick, we have been mentioned in the Association of Realtors. We're a partner of theirs. We've been mentioned in Forbes, Inman, Business Insider, as well as Bloomberg.
Amazing.
So, in collaboration with today's statement, it is time to stand above the crowd, right? And roomvu will definitely help you do this by positioning yourself as a go-to expert, everything within your community specifically. We specialize in the curation of hyper-local content. So if you're an agent in Scottsdale, Arizona, all the information and statistical data that is going to be included into the videos that are automated for you are going to pertain to that specific marketplace. If you're in Orlando, it will automatically custom tailor everything to Orlando, so on and so forth.
Nice.
Now, again, social media is great, and so many people know what they should be doing, but don't always do it, right? That's why they say the biggest gap in life is the one between knowing and doing. Well, there's an opportunity for you to really start capitalizing on social media. It is super simple. If it wasn't easy, we wouldn't have 270,000 agents on our platform. It's intuitive and it's automated. So if you've ever thought, man, I wish there was just some way that I could automate the posting of my social media across all platforms automatically with a push of a button, this is it, right?
Wow.
So it is important that you're going to be seeing often and by the right people. What are the platforms? Well, they're all the ones you're familiar with. YouTube, X, right? Formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. As we have this conversation right now, there are people searching for real estate information on these platforms. And if you don't have a presence, you're missing out on opportunities. And guess what? Real estate's a zero-sum game. So if you miss out on the opportunity, somebody else wins. There's no coming back from that. And then we just recently included the Google Business, and Google Business is absolutely it is absolutely a powerful tool because when people do a quick search for credibility about who you are and you don't have your Google Business claimed, it could potentially raise a red flag and encourage them to go and find somebody else. So we'll make certain that you claim your Google Business. And in doing this, we will achieve that top of mind awareness that Gary Keller, a $1 million agent, talks about is key to your success. So people think of you and your services more often. Then that will obviously open up, more brand recognition because with brand recognition comes credibility. It establishes loyalty and positions you in the marketplace to win more business. And when that happens, the new business will come in opportunities in the form of buyer and seller leads. So that's all that I really have. Sam will take you on a tour today, and he's really going to blow your mind. One last thing that I do want to share, though, is when it comes to marketing, whether you partner with us or a different company, there's 3 rules that must be present at the same time, okay? And they all have to be working collectively, meaning exposure. If you're going to invest in something, you got to make sure that your face is going to be seen. If you're thinking about partnering with a company and they're not seeing you or can't guarantee that you're going to be seen, you're wasting your money. The second one is repetition. So not only do you need to be seeing, it's absolutely imperative you're seeing often and on a consistent basis, because this is where association begins to occur. My need for a real estate agent in line with you and your business. And then lastly, the targeting. So not only is it important to be seeing and seeing often, it's absolutely imperative that you're seen by the people that are going to be more likely to pick up the phone and call you. Okay, so our hyperlocality, I'm telling you, it is a game changer. It will make and position you as a market expert in your area of expertise. And thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
What a value stack.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're pumped to continue this. Lauren is driving the rest of this presentation for now, and then we're gonna switch. But this is exciting. We're super pumped to learn more and more about how to stand out above the crowd in 2025.
Yes.
Love it. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. I've got, I think, 2 or 3 more slides just to bonuses and things. So I want to make sure, actually go back one if you don't mind, Lauren. There's, oh, wait, maybe 2 more. That
There we
one.
go. Got it.
That's the one. So everybody, oh, wait. One more.
Being slow, I'm sorry.
It's got a mind of its own, apparently.
Got a delay.
No, this is the bonus download free, everybody. Just go to gohive.info/roomvu and you're going to find this particular download, which is fabulous. Top 5 ways to achieve leverage in your real estate business and the cost of overlooking them. This is a Cambium piece that we want to make sure that you guys get. You can also use that QR code, but please don't forget, you're also going to find other goodies there as we progress over the next day or so. We'll be loading up a few more goodies for you. But at minimum, we want to make sure you get this one. So please make note of that or take a picture of that screen or whatever you need to do. That would be awesome. And the next slide, we're going to talk about 2 quick things. There's All Access Pass. We've got a special bonus for everybody. We are going to give you 1 month free in our All Access Real Estate community. This is a big deal. This is everything we do, all our live workshops, all our replays. You get Monday morning live coaching. These are accountability calls for somebody to help you get your week organized, all that good stuff. So there's loads of free things.
Nice.
Again, take a picture of this page. You're going to go to gohive.info/VIP, select the 1 month and use the code free access and you get a whole month free, no obligation. And we hope you'll love it and join us there.
Very nice.
Thank you. And then the final thing is state of the end bonuses. There's 2 more bonuses. And the way that you get these is to fill out the feedback form that you're going to get a link to at the end of this. So we're literally bribing you to stay to the end of this session. Have some fun with us. And please, 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 you know, you're going to get 2 wonderful pieces here. A personalized lead gen guide, which is already very cool, but also a cold lead engagement script template for effective follow-ups, again, from our ladies at Cambium. And I think, are we ready to move on here? Oh yeah. Also check your spam. Be sure to safe list HIVEOLOGY and roomvu. And also guys, while I'm here, make a note, hello@cambium.com if you want to reach out to these ladies as well. And it's Cambium is KAMMBIUM.com. hello@cambium.com. So this way you can reach any of us if you'd like to. And then I think, am I finally done? I'm finally done. So I'll shut up now. So ladies, we'll leave it with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sabina. What a nice introduction. We're super excited to bring to you a presentation about lead generation, conversion, and standing out from the competition. This is interactive, so we will be asking for some participation here and try and make it as engaging as possible. What's in it for me? As an agent attending this, I want you to walk away with actionable items and also have a clear idea of how to manage your bottom line. I'm going to go and tell you the secrets of lead sources, the ones that work and the ones that you should immediately cancel, and some great ways to stand out from the competition. So we'll start with the sexy one, generating more high quality leads. I mean, I think everybody would like to generate more high quality leads here for sure. So 2 options here. We have sweat equity and check equity. So sweat equity is getting in there, making the calls yourself, hosting the open houses, kind of being boots on the ground. Some of our newer agents are definitely in the sweat equity category. Some of our more experienced agents might be more in our check equity category, where they are purchasing lead services and paying for them up front. We're going to talk about both. So not to worry if you're in one side or the other, but we're really going to kind of go through, you know, being in the zoo of leads to being in the jungle, right? And where we want to be. So before we talk about any leads, we have to be honest with ourselves. If your lead source requires heavy nurturing, you must ask yourself, do I have the tools, time, discipline to consistently follow up? For any of you talking about pay-per-click, anything like that, bold leads, that requires a pretty intense CRM with some really profound built out action plans and nurture plans. So if that's not something that resonates with you and that you don't have it in place, take this as your sign to go ahead and stop paying for those leads. And we'll go over more reasons why later in the series. So again, the answer is yes, please, Kathleen.
You're going to need an exit strategy to move from paid leads to where you are really more in charge of generating your own leads.
Right. We're maximizing profits here. So part of that's watching our operating expenses.
Yes.
So let's talk about some lead sources. This is actually an active real spreadsheet. I went over the top 30 lead sources that agents use across the country. And this page were ones that were somewhat valid, still in place. Most of these are not paid sources. So a good number of these you pay upon closing. So if we're still in the sweat equities phase, these are all applicable. So we've got, Ojo, Estately, HomeLight, Bold Leads, Sold.com. So these are either low price or pay upon close models. I went through and signed up for each and every one of those sources, paid the extra to be put at the top of the list. And I'll go over how many leads we got from that were good in a
What a
moment.
fabulous experiment.
It is. These are the other half of the 30 top lead sources, which upon looking into them, were not actual valid lead sources.
Wow.
Things change very quickly. A lot of companies start with, we have leads, and then really it's just, we're a CRM and buy the CRM. So again, these were top sources that people were using, and every single one of them was not valid. So before we go into a story time about some of the ones that worked and didn't work, actually, no, I'll do story time first. So here's our story time. HomeLight. For those of you familiar with HomeLight, it's a fantastic program. I've been a fan of it from the beginning. We're one of the earliest teams to be selected for Elite 2 status. And so when I branched off and went to another team, I took my account with me, and it sounds great, right? They're going to connect us with high quality buyers and serious sellers. And we did get leads coming in. So here's a snapshot of the leads that we had coming in. This looks pretty sexy. We're located in Los Gatos, so we're getting some San Jose, Los Gatos, Santa Clara, really good price points. This resulted in nothing. And here's the reason why. The name did not go with the address, did not go with the phone number. So we were calling the name, trying to find out where they were, then going through the address, finding the owners, seeing if they were really looking to sell, then trying the phone numbers. It was basically data soup. There was a glitch in the system, and this just turned into soup. So we did not have the best with my second iteration of the team. We did not have the best experience. I'm sure that HomeLight has straightened out since then. But we did not have the greatest experience here because absolutely nothing matched with anything in our whole database. So that was one where, again, you pay upon closing. So no cost to sign up, which is, nice for people who are not wanting to spend money up front. I did try one where you spent money up front. So I want to talk through estate.ai. This is a program that they were guaranteeing 3 closings within 6 months. And I'm like, ooh, guarantee, that's pretty good. We had heard great things about them. They had fantastic technology going through, looking for people who needed to sell. It was primarily listings. And they had a full money back guarantee, full money back.
Nice.
A little bit expensive. It was $10,000 for 6 months. And I'm like, if it doesn't work, I get my money back. But 3 listings in my in my area, that's well worth it, right? So being that I'm in the Bay Area, take a look at some of the ads that were sent out. So the average price point of homes in my market is 1.5, and we've got ads going out that show 297, 416, 331. I'm also in the Bay Area, and we have ads that show Los Angeles.
Wow.
So that was why the leads coming in were for 400 miles away from where we are. So we did not get any closings from this. And remember, I could get my money back. No closings, money back. Kathleen, do you think I got my money back for that?
Did you not?
I did not. No. Smoke and mirrors. They were like, well, we provided, we provided these masterminds, and to have a full refund, you had to attend every mastermind. And so that was, I'm saving you the money right now. Don't do it. Don't do
Like
it.
a commercial for roomvu.
I know, right?
I was gonna say, like, I'm not comfortable for you like promoting all these services, and then I saw none of them work. So yes, please promote them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Things
That
are
is, I
pointing toward working
think the
with
challenge
roomvu.
is, I think the challenge is that we are always also like just one commentary on this. I keep seeing realtors being obsessed with cost per lead. And they keep saying, okay, I want my cost per lead to be $2 a lead or $3 a lead. And that's usually another cause for ads being placed in the wrong location, or just get leads at any cost. Whereas you want to really optimize for the right lead and pay the right amount for them. Like I think personally, spending up to $20-$30 per lead, if it's the right lead, is way better than just optimizing for that number. Because yes, you can tell me you have 10,000 leads, but you have nothing to show for it.
Right.
And you have no closings out of it. And I think that's the typical thing we've seen in the industry on and on. People promising lead at the lowest cost. And that's just, yeah, we should think of closing at kitchen tables and how many appointments and how many actual calls were connected right after that.
Well, right.
Exactly.
This is something Lauren and I talked about earlier today too, which is, if I get my initials correct, TCPA, which is where leads can be sold to multiple agents. We have an 11-month grace period, and that's going away next year. So the cost of paid leads is about to jump, because one lead will go to one agent, and that will be an assignment. So also the whole idea of what is now in the for next year, an average cost per lead will be maybe very different than what we have had in the past or this year. So then what are the ways in which to attract leads and then be able to convert, and how that conversion rate and dollar per lead may really change as an industry standard.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right with that.
Absolutely. And this is a great example too of, had I been signed up with roomvu, probably would have had better outcomes, because it would have been targeting the right audience for your market. And again, as Sam said, connecting you with the right lead. I would be willing to pay quite a bit if it's an actual appointment to be connected with an actual lead who's interested in buying or selling. I don't care if it's $2 a lead or $2,000 a lead. If they're not interested,
I mean, just to add
not
some
a lead.
context to this, remember
Right.
like Zillow Flex was 25% of your commission for a person that is actually a hot lead. And I don't know what happened to that program, but I thought it was interesting
there.
because I haven't seen like huge traction with agents with it, but I think this is also really interesting because you're willing to spend like that much money, but that person has to come in, has to be pre-qualified, has to close, and that's the main difference there.
Yes, Sam, get this. I do work with many teams who work Zillow Flex. That lead fee has gone up to 40% back to Zillow.
Wow.
Yes.
That's insane.
Program is still there. So yeah, it's a lot. So if we were to go back to this spreadsheet that I went with, these were the valid sources that I signed up for. Any ideas on how many leads I got from signing up from all these sources over the course of a 2-year period?
Oh,
Sam, we've already been quizzed, so you might want to answer. What do you think?
Well, I wasn't using RimView, so I think Sam
Exactly.
could guess the answer is pretty low. Ultimately, zero.
Oh, I would hope like after 2 years, like 2,000. No?
Nothing.
That's insane.
What a
No
waste.
appointments came out of this. So moving forward, let's talk about our conversion rates. So we talked about not being fooled by different predatory lead programs and funnels. Let's talk about conversion rates. I'd love to hear from people listening and from my panel what we think the conversion rates are on geographic farming. So what do we think the conversion rate is on geographic farming? What percentage?
As in flyers, sending like
Yeah.
flyers, and
Yep.
I think it should
Door drops and flyers.
be about 1%.
That was my guess too.
That is, yep, that's pretty close. 1%. How about pay-per-click and Facebook leads? Any ideas on how those
0.5%, or less than that.
close? Pretty close. And these take a lot of nurturing too. They're very, very top of the funnel. How about our paid lead sources? Sold.com, all the leads, homes.com, ones where we
I'll
pay
put these at
advertising.
half as well, 0.5% probably as well.
0.5%. Okay. Appointment sources, Zillow Flex, Redfin, Realtor.com, Market Premier.
3%.
3. That's pretty generous. Where you go to a live appointment. Open house leads. Open house. What do we think?
Oh,
20%, I would say. Or close rates, or I would say 10%.
10%?
Higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if you get enough people to the open house, that's the problem these days. But yes,
Right.
if you're talking conversion rates out of a showed up person at the open house, it's probably 9 to 10%, I would say. Okay.
Exactly. And Sam, if you're doing an open house, you're going to make it a party. You're going to have music. You're going to have a taco truck. You're going to make it someplace people want to be, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll unveil the rates here. Here are the results. Geographic farming, we were right on 1.2%. Pay-per-click, 1.5%. The paid lead sources, 3.5. So not too bad. Appointment, 5%. Open house, 6%. And past client referrals, 20%.
That is huge.
It is huge. And I want to clarify that past client referrals does not mean that only 1 in 5 referrals will use you. It means that only 1 in 5 people will be ready to do something within the next 90 days.
Okay, so it's a time frame as well.
It is. It is. We will often meet a seller or a buyer who might not do something for 2 years, and it's amazing to have them in your pipeline. However, that's not really going to impact your bottom line in the current year or quarter. So we're looking at what's happening in 90 days. Open house, same thing. 6% are ready to do something within 90 days.
Okay.
So based on those lead sources, where are we going to put our energy? I mean,
Right.
I'm going to put my energy in open houses and referrals, right?
Yeah, but this also speaks to RoomVu and the whole idea of media, right?
Yep.
The credibility of that being local, that being an expert with credibility impacts all of these local person-to-person relationship kinds of lead generation. Very nice.
Yes, exactly. Because what's common with an open house and a referral, you get in front of somebody who's in the community, in that market. It's applicable. It's where you're looking for clients, and it's where your expertise is.
Yes, and if they've seen you online, they already recognize you. They already see the credibility. Your brand is also recognized. That takes that. You're not a stranger at the open house. You're not a stranger at at a networking meeting. They already know you from the media. Nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we've got leads. Maybe they weren't ready to do something in 90 days. So we're going to engage and convert them. We're going to do some engagement and some conversion. Okay.
Yep.
So the number one thing, I hate to break it to you, it is your responsibility to now proactively find properties for your buyer clients. One of the ways we want to do this is to go on broker tour. Go on tour, find the coming soons, preview properties. This will not only allow you to present a coming soon to your potential buyers, it also helps you build rapport with the listing agents. These are people you want to have a good relationship with. So we want to take the time to go on broker tour. Story time. Just saying it doesn't make a difference. I got to tell you the benefit as to why. So I have an agent, and she had a listing that was started closing, and she knew that the client wanted to get into a specific area along the beach. She saw on tour that there was a unit coming available in this very popular subdivision. And she called him and said, "This is going to move quickly. I'm going to visit on tour. I need you to meet me there. And we've got to try and get in this before it hits the market." Her client met her there. They got in, they got their offer submitted that night, and were able to successfully have the listing agent at least cancel the Saturday open house. So they got ratified. There was a contingency, and so the listing agent did do a Sunday open house for backups, but they ended up getting that unit. And it would not have happened had she not got him in there early enough to get that submitted right then and there. So this is a great reason and a way you can be the hero and really add to your value as a buyer's agent by getting them into properties they cannot see on their own.
Yeah, and this is also really thinking about the value of being particularly a buyer's agent is knowing about the market, in particular things that are not already out there. Right. So the pocket listing idea, right, that we used to talk about. But even if something is a coming soon, but they can't put it on the MLS because of whatever the criteria are, but they know that things are coming, because listing agents often know about listings coming on the market weeks to months in advance. So if you are in communication with listing agents in that way, right, then you get to not only know about that particular property, but you may also get to know about other properties they have coming that they would love to entertain the idea of selling even before it hit the public, if the situation is right for their seller.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of sellers, why do we want to put our listings on broker tour? We want to put them on tour. We want to get feedback from the agent community. We want to get feedback on the pricings. Every time you put it on tour, also hold it open to the public. This is going to be impactful, and I have a story for you on that one too. So, story time on why you should always have it open to the public when you put it on broker tour. We had a lovely townhouse that was on broker tour in a great neighborhood. It was a 3-2, really nicely done. So our agent held it open, and during tour, not only was our agent able to pick up an unrepresented buyer and ended getting them into a home later that week in a different neighborhood, but they were also met 2 homeowners in that community and got one of those listings.
Yes.
Still in touch with the other. Yes. This is why it's worth doing. For those of you who are team leaders out there, I will go one step further. If you're a team leader, go see your your broker tour open houses. The agents that are going every week, and they're newer agents and they're learning the market, those are probably the growth-minded agents that would be a really good recruit for your team. Also a great place to see where there might be some good additions to your team if you're a team leader.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. We want to reiterate, especially in the face of the BRBC and NAR, we want to proactively find properties for our clients. We do not want to send them what they already saw on their Zillow feed that morning. Right. A lot of our clients might get up earlier than those of us in real estate. I don't think any of us chose real estate, so we start our day at 7 a.m. So I think a lot of people chose it for a little more flexibility. So if people are checking their email and they're getting their portal and you're sending a link to the same property they saw 3 hours earlier, are you adding value? Not really, right?
Right.
Not really. It's redundant. So a little participation here. The story will make sense. We want to lure people back out into the market. We want to lure them out. Anyone here familiar with Say Yes to the Dress? Yep. Okay. Usually the women put their hands up. Men, they quietly nod. They've seen it.
I'm
So,
like, okay.
Okay.
It's probably something.
The ad.
I tried to
Exactly.
relate. It was hard.
Exactly. It'll make sense, Sam. Trust me. So in Say Yes to the Dress, the bride comes in and she says, I'm looking for this, this, and this, and this is my dream dress. Now, does the bridal consultant go bring just that dress? And, well, this is the one you said you wanted.
No.
That's the equivalent of taking somebody to a property that they asked to go see and not having any switch properties lined up to take them to next.
Mhm.
So what is that bridal consultant doing? They're listening to what the bride likes. They're going to put in mom's 2 cents too, and they're pulling other gowns as options.
Yeah.
Yes. So we've got the bride trying on different options. Those are our buyers. We're taking them to different houses that they did not think to go see, that we think will be a good fit because we listened to what they need. And they find one that they think they like. They're like, oh, this is pretty nice. I might want to write on this one. When the bride finds a dress that she's like, this might be the one, does the sales consultant say, okay, cool. Well, I'm just going to go sit over here and just let me know when you're ready? No. What do? They jack her up. They get the veil. They get the jewelry. They get the shoes. They parade her out in front of the family. This is you walking through that house with your buyers saying, I can see this right here being where you'd put an amazing kitchen table for your Sunday night dinners. Look at that spot in the backyard. I would absolutely think of installing an outdoor kitchen there because I think this is important to you. You have to get them feeling good about the house they want to ride on. This should be a fun, exciting thing. So the long story is, the more houses you take people to, the more likely you're going to find one that they want to buy. The more information you have from why they want to look and where they are, the more you can be, again, in that spot where you're putting the veil on and the shoes and having them all kind of dolled up saying, yes, I can see myself in this. I can see myself living here. And so that's what we want to do. We want to take the extra care and we want to bring more. Again, adding value. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. Standing out from the competition. We talked about where we're going to be getting some leads from. We talked about how we're going the extra mile to add value. We're not going to send redundant properties they've already seen on the MLS. Now, how are we going to stand out even further? So we want to use automation smart, but don't over automate yourself out of a relationship. So I'm going to go over a couple ways on how we use our automation to help not let opportunities slip through the crack, but not to take over our entire relationship with the lead.
Sam, this is where you can step in big time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, Sam, do you want to have? I'm just going over simple MLS stuff afterwards, so feel free to jump in.
I think I can show you one of our latest tools that we just launched, but something that we've been working on really greatly is, can we use AI to initiate the first contact? And we just did that with our latest tool. It basically allows you to be getting a lead follow-up from us. So you always have that top of mind awareness, and it kind of nurtures the lead for you in the long term. And then once that lead is ready, you get a hot notification and you kind of go from there. I mean, you might even have an account with us. I can see if I can find it and I can show you how that works. It's like, it takes 1 minute, but the whole point is, can we use AI to automate a little bit of our tasks rather than a full automation? Because obviously we can't replace ourselves with AI, but we can do the mundane tasks. We can do the follow-ups. We can do all of those things automatically. And I think that's the idea, right? If we can do this more automated and more automatically, then we have more time in our hands, and then we can be more consistent with everything that we do.
Absolutely agree. It's a great way to nurture our leads. And when we start getting two-way communication, that's when we jump in as humans, right? So it's a fantastic tool. And to that point, when we start getting two-way communication is when we want to turn the automations off and start doing human to human contact.
Yeah. We have a full system. We can add that later on. It's a new product we just launched. It's called roomvu Engage. It basically calls your leads for you. It follows up until that lead connects and responds. But the most it does is it's just going to book an appointment for Lauren to continue the call. There's no way that we can actually have that conversation without you in it. So that's what we've seen. So on average, it takes 18 attempts to activate a lead. And I think you had that in trying all these lead sources. 18 attempts is quite a bit. And it takes 9 months to activate a lead. That's another big factor. And the last item, I think, is 44% of agents stop trying when the first call is not picked up, when that lead comes in. So
Wow,
they call a lead. That's so high. Like, it's almost half the agents. They try that, this person doesn't pick up. I'm moving on. And I think that's, consider how many calls it would take for you to pick up. Like, if I called you right now, you're probably on a call, so you can't pick it up. And then I'll call you again, you're in the bathroom. And then it takes like at least 3-4 attempts before that person is activated and before that person is ready to make a move. So I think we keep forgetting these vital stats, and that's why most of the marketing techniques, they're probably working. It's just we're not doing the sequence right. We're not thinking of it as a funnel. We're just thinking of it as one-time thing that I'm going to do, and it's going to make me rich overnight. If I had a penny for every agent that comes to me in conferences and they're like, Sam, make me go viral. I'm like, okay. When was the last time you posted? They're like 2 years ago. I'm like, okay, we can do this. So obviously that wouldn't be as easy, right? The whole point is that whole consistency and having systems in place is going to be the main thing that moves the needle for your marketing in 2025.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and then this also speaks, Sam, to the fact that we got really spoiled. I'm going to use the word spoiled in 2020, 2022, right? Because the business was coming at us. And the demand in that regard was so high that it really created a different energy shift to now recognize that we have to be proactive, reach out, follow up, nurture, have credibility, be online, be a thought leader, be an expert in our area. So it really was a big shift to be able to move into the future. And days on market, right, was like 3 hours. Now days on market is like 45 days, so it's a big shift. So if
I think in a way the whole industry is being punished for the good days they had in 2021
always,
and 2022.
always. I was saying to somebody the other day, it's like we've gone from being in like what I called a gift market. It's like we were gifted leads and deals to a large degree to a skills market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's all about your skills, your tools, your resources, and your funnels and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
So,
your discipline, your stamina, right? To be able to see things through. So for any of the agents listening, if you are in the dive, right, and you're on the incline, you're not alone. It's happening in the industry. And so this is why we wanted to partner with roomvu and come with HIVEOLOGY and then put together this practical approach to actually putting things into action to get results.
exactly.
Right, exactly. That's
Nice.
so perfect. And
Lauren, I'm sorry I hijacked your slide, but I knew Sam had a whole bunch of great stuff on this.
That was great.
That's okay. No, I love it. I love it. And it really dovetails so perfectly into what we're going to go over next. My Gen Z and younger millennial agents all the time, they say, oh, Lauren, our generation doesn't really talk on the phone. And I have to tell them, selling houses does not happen over Snapchat or TikTok or whatever you guys are doing now. It's belly to belly or voice to voice. Pick up the phone. So true. So true. We went on broker tour I know I'm drilling back on this, but I'm going to give you another benefit you can use on broker tour. So you went on tour. What's next? What's next? Again, we want to get personal with our communication. We want to do videos. We want to do texts. We want to send a client something that we saw thinking of them. You have tons of opportunity as you're previewing houses to be able to do a quick reel or a quick post like the one you see here on the screen of something unique you saw that day, right? People love seeing it. And even better, there is no link, there is no address. So if this kitchen appeals to someone, they're going to come to you to learn more about it, right? Right. Content with images is 94% more views than content without. And even better, people are more likely to watch a video than read a description or even look at static images. So done is better than perfect. You don't have to have your hair perfectly coiffed and have your everything done. Just, quick video on your cell phone, and that will go a long way into sending your clients things that are uniquely them and proving again that you hear them.
Nice.
To link or not to link? This is the question. We're trying to differentiate ourselves from other agents out there. And I already touched on, why are you selling them properties that they saw in their portal search already that morning? Similarly, why am I sending them a link? To be more unique, I'm going to send them an image. Could be outside a house, could be something inside. I saw this. It made me think of you. I think this is the perfect kitchen. When are you available to see it? Does tomorrow evening work at 6 o'clock? So do you see what I did there? I went from what everybody else is doing of sending redundant links to homes that are on the market that they can look up on Zillow or on MLS searches, to sending something that's unique to them from me. Right?
Right.
So the average realtor is going to get overly reliant on links and portals and automated outreach and sending links to redundant properties these people already saw. You can be this mysterious property whisperer with superior access and always on the hunt, right? So that is what we want to do to differentiate ourselves from being the average realtor to being the unicorn.
Successful in the jungle.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Lauren, I'm just going to give you a quick time check. We've got about 12 minutes, just so you know, to the end.
Perfect. I think I only have 3 slides left.
You can always say that. You're so funny.
Yes. I see. Simplify your workflow. Simplify your workflow. Okay. I don't want to put down all automation. Some automation is good. We do want to put our clients on and potential clients on something that is a touch point. Your buyers should be on property searches, and let's get specific with it. Let's zoom in. Take the time to use the polygon feature. We all know that a zip code, a city, a neighborhood is going to have vastly different areas. Sometimes school districts are important. Take the time to draw it out. It's again proving that you're listening. So we were going to leverage that and make sure that they're getting new houses. Now, we want to be mindful of frequency. As you speak to your clients and they decide, oh, Kathleen, we talked about selling the house, this March, and we just have way too much going on and we want to revisit it in the fall. Do you think somebody who just asked to put it on hold for 6 months wants to see emails from you every day? Probably not. Will that trigger an unsubscribe?
Perhaps.
Yeah, it probably will. Similarly, if someone has a very, very specific, they must have a house of this size in this neighborhood, and you have the portal set up to send it daily, and you're sending the same 5 houses to them every day, does that add value? No, it's going to trigger an unsubscribe. I guarantee you other agents are not doing this. When you hear your clients adjust their timeline, adjust your automated outreach accordingly. somebody is looking and wants to see, you want to set it to an instant notification or daily. When someone's put it on hold, or they're 4 to 6 months out, let's send once a week. And if someone's like, hey, I definitely can't do anything for the next 2 years, that's okay. I'm still going to keep you apprised of what's going on in the neighborhood. So I'm going to send you a report every other week for your perusal. So this again will set you apart and prove you're listening to your clients. Benefits of this: buyers on an MLS or CRM, is you proactively are sending things. You have visibility if they're using your platform to see what they're clicking on, and easy follow-up. You see that they've clicked on the same house, 3 or 4 times. That's a really easy, hey, I just saw this beautiful house and it made me think of you. Have you checked out? And it's a great, easy way to follow up with them. Alternative options, you can be added as a decision maker on their favorite platform, whether that is, Redfin, Zillow, etc. And so you can see what they're liking on that platform too. We want to speak in the language that they prefer. So if they really love a different platform, let's embrace that and go along with it and lean in. For your sellers and anybody who owns a home, they should be on some kind of monthly equity report. So a monthly market update, this should include neighborhood comps or some kind of equity update, and they should be receiving CMAs from you on a regular basis. Okay, how much is too much? We talked about calling. Sam just said the average agent will only call a lead 1 time. So how much is too much calling? Anybody have an idea?
The rule is usually until they tell you to stop.
Yeah. I had one agent who said until they buy or until they die, I'm gonna keep calling. So until they say remove me for your list or until they buy or die, continue to call. You are setting yourself apart from people who are relying on texting and are not sending any personalized communication.
Right, but this dovetails in with what you just said, which is to customize. What is the frequency? What is the method? What is the message that you're sending so that you're adding value? Because it's in a relationship and not just in a transaction.
That's right.
Correct. Yeah.
Something else that I always say also is that yes, they might not be ready to buy, but as long as you understand and say, okay, well, I'm going to call you again in 2 weeks or a month or 2 months, whatever that is, and just do call them, I don't think they're going to be pissed, and they're going to be like happy that you called them, and they're going to see you as that proactive agent that is on top of the game.
Right.
If you add value, if there's something that if you're touching these guys with value, these people with value, obviously the even better, I mean, to your point, Lauren, if you're delivering some equity report every month, or you're doing whatever and you're calling to deliver that or follow up on that, there's so many ways and reasons to touch people on a regular basis, for sure.
Or send them the relevant news or market updates.
Yeah,
that's easy.
exactly.
That's the lowest. And easiest thing that you can do. Just send them some market update. Here's what happened in your market, and I think that also opens up that conversation.
Yes, and I have a story time for that. I have a dear client who's been a client of mine for 10 years in Tampa, Florida. She just listed a property where she met this seller 5 years ago, and they were not ready to sell, right? They're retired, but they weren't ready to make this move. Now, 5 years later, they're ready to make the move, and they called her because they've been getting her marketing materials. I'm not sure she's talked with them, but the idea was she made a great impression. She stayed in touch in whatever, digital way. She's seen on social media. And 5 years later, the seller called her because she still remained credible and made a great first impression. And so now 5 years later, she got a listing.
I love those stories. I think also there's something to be said about calling with things of value and avoiding the checking in. We want to avoid that. So I work with an amazing real estate professional in San Francisco. San Francisco has a lot of older buildings, and she says every winter, anybody who's buying a house and all of my past clients, I call and say, hey, how are your windows doing? Because San Francisco, they will leak in the winter.
Wind goes sideways, rain goes sideways.
Yeah, talking about the personal experience. If you haven't experienced it yourself, you probably have helped a client recently and just say, hey, we had this situation that totally made me think of you. How are your windows doing? Here's what to do if they do start leaking. And that's adding value that is applicable and avoiding the checking in call, right?
Love it. Love it. Sam, before we move on to the next piece here, do you have any questions that you wanted us to respond to from the gang?
You're muted, Sam.
Sorry, I don't see the, let me just double check. Most of the questions I think are related to, let me just double check here. No, something that we keep getting questions on is how often should I optimize text over calls? Like, because if every I think every audience is different. A younger generation probably prefers text, an older generation probably prefers calls. Where do we stand on that? Like, what is the golden kind of blueprint for this?
I think that there's nothing wrong with asking your clients, if I have something urgent to tell you, what is your preferred method of communication? Do you prefer email, voicemail, text? What is it? And let them tell you. Let them tell you. I think I'm an elder millennial. I'm way better at text than call. I get terrified when I see a voicemail, you know. But at the same time, if somebody texts me, I've got XYZ, are you free to chat at this time? Yes. Right. So texting can go along with a call or with an email. And I think that it's a nice tool to be used in accordance with other forms of communication.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would also say that it's okay to set an expectation with clients or prospects, depending on where they are, how you categorize that in your business, that I'd like to give you an update. I'd like to talk with you once a month, once a week, you know, whatever is happening, so that you also let them know that there's a lot of information that we're going to need to exchange that is better voice to voice than if I try to write it to you. So I would appreciate, right, if we could have a conversation, you know, I'll send you a text message. So I think they also need to understand the context of having a conversation. It isn't just about you wanting to make a call or not. It really is matching the best method for getting the information across, because you don't want to send a text message about an inspection report. Like, you need to talk to them about that, because usually that's where you can have a flare of emotion from clients or prospects, because there was no tone of voice. There was no way to in a calm way explain something or go over information, that if you just send that in writing, it is really kind of a crapshoot about how that's going to come across.
Yeah. The other thing we should talk about too, I know we don't have a lot of time today because we're actually just about out of time as it is, but you know, people should think about also using video sends as well. That is a huge, new, fabulous, wonderful thing that people can be doing. So, you know, you can still send a message, but it's a video message.
And we can also set expectations for availability for those of you who may have children. You know, it's okay to tell your clients up front that, you know, hey, between the hours of 6 and 8, it's really important for me to be with my family. And so in the event that something comes up between then, if it's urgent, I will call you afterwards. If not, you will hear from me by 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Right.
And it's okay to say that up front.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. Now, just because I know some people need to run, we only have a minute left. So I'm going to ask you, Lauren, could do me a favor. Can you go forward a couple of slides to the feedback form, and then we're going to go back. And I just want to make sure that everybody has this quickly, because this is what's going to trigger the bonuses. Just everybody take a picture of this, write this down, do whatever you need to do. But if you go to this URL at gohive.info/leadgenff, this is the feedback form. And that's what's going to trigger everything. So make sure that if you don't do this, you're not going to get everything else. So Sam, we want to talk a little bit about a program that we've got coming up, but since we're running out of time, do you want to take a minute and talk about review?
I think we just want to appreciate all the time and the presentation, the amazing presentation by Lauren. Thank you so much for that. I
Thank
think
you, Sam.
all you said today was really in line with what we do. That is nurturing your sphere of influence. They are your biggest source for future revenue. They are your biggest advocates, and they vouch for you. So just make sure that I think this stat from an AR always sticks in my head, and that's every time you ask a buyer or seller after the transaction, would you use the same realtor again? 90% would say yes, but 5 years down the road, only 10% do. And I think that's just the simple truth about your SOI. They just need to make sure that if they see Sam on a webinar, is he out of real estate now, or is he still doing business in real estate? So that for me, like that's the biggest thing. Like something else that was really interesting for me was like I had a lot of travel for conferences.
Yeah.
Putting the travel on my social media hurts my real estate business. So I had to stop that. And anyway, I think we all know enough about roomvu. If you want a personalized audit of how you appear on Google, how you appear on Instagram, how a seller Googles you, we can offer you that one-on-one audit. The link is there next to HIVEOLOGY. HIVEOLOGY is doing some amazing stuff in education for the agents. They're truly leading the patch. So yeah, back to you, Sabina.
Thanks, Sam. Always appreciate that. And Lauren, I'm just going to ask you to go back a couple slides to your offer. I just want everybody to know that we are launching something very, very, very sexy. This is a new accelerator. If you go one more, Lauren, if you don't mind. This is a pipeline accelerator that we're launching soon with these two wonderful ladies, Lauren and Kathleen. This is 6 weeks to build a new pipeline using all of the lead knowledge, all of the sales strategy knowledge, and the conversion knowledge that they have to help you make sure that you're going to walk away after 6 weeks with a very sexy, new, shiny pipeline. So we know everybody needs that. We'll talk more about that, of course. But what I was going to say to everybody is, if you go one more slide, please, Lauren, just so you understand what this means, an accelerator is a 6-week program. It's bite-sized, curated training with live group coaching. So that means you're going to get these ladies live, plus community delivered weekly over this period of time to make sure that we support you underneath this entire process. We want to make sure that you get this combination of training, accountability, coaching, community, all this wonderful stuff to make sure that you get rapid growth and a lasting new skill. This is why this is different. So, and for the first 100 people that sign up for our new program, and that, by the way, you will get triggered by the feedback form. So we're going to go back to that just to make sure the first 100 people are going to get this program at 50% off. And it's already going to be cheap and cheerful. Yeah. So Lauren, can you go back to that feedback thing again? This one here. Thank you so much. So don't forget, if you go there and you fill this out, we're going to send you a note. So the first 100 people who are interested in this new program, 50% off. That's going to be a huge number, guys. So very excited. Everybody, thank you for being here today. Sam, Lauren, Kathleen, love you guys. Really appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Sam.
Ciao, ciao, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.